What's good, guys? Okay, so this video might be the most important video you've ever watched in your life, and I don't mean that lightly. All right, so in this video, what I'm going to talk about today is the only thing that could hold you back in your dating life and really in your whole life, which is fear. All right, so the reason why I'm making this video is because I had a great experience in October of last year now, 2023, where there was a mentor that I had who was teaching me a lot about life, and he was teaching me a lot about business and all the strategies that I needed to scale my business, right? And there was a point where we stopped, where we were going over everything, and he's like, well, the only thing is like, we've laid out everything for the past like 3 weeks, but you're not doing it, right? And there was a lot of things that I needed to do. And he's like, but you're not doing it. And he's like, that's what we need to dive into, is like why you're not doing it. Because once you have all the strategies, then it just becomes about like, okay, why are you not doing the things that you know in your head and in your heart that you're supposed to be doing? And I read a book last year after a long time of not understanding why. This book was called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Really, really, really great book. Completely changed my life, right? And in the book, he talks about how fear, it shows itself by us procrastinating, shows itself by us not doing the things that we know we're supposed to do. All right. So once you overcome fear in your life, once you overcome the devil inside of you that's trying to keep you from the life that you know you want, you get to gain control of your life, and you get to live a life that only 1% of people ever will. All right. So how does fear usually, or what is fear? Let's just go over that really quick. Why is this shit not working? All right. How the fuck do you go down? Right. Okay. The nature of fear. All right. So what the hell is fear anyway, right? Like, what is it? It's really just an emotion, right? Sometimes there's something that you just feel inside of yourself where you're like, I shouldn't do that, right? So you could be at a club, you could be at a bar, you could be at the gym, you could be with your friends, whatever it is. And there's something inside of you. There's nothing that you're saying. There's nothing that anybody's saying to you. But there's something inside of you that's saying, don't go up to that woman and talk to her. Don't be myself. Don't try to impress the people that I'm around, because they're not people who would like that, right? Don't be my highest version of myself, right? There's this emotion that's inside of us that stops us from doing the things that we want to do, all right? So fear in and of itself is literally just an emotion, but you have to understand that it is natural. Humans have been facing fear for the fucking millennia, right? So it is always going to be there. And the only difference between someone that achieves something and someone that doesn't is the other person let fear stop them. All right. So you have to understand that in order to get what you want, let's say you want the relationship of your dreams. Let's say you want the marriage of your dreams. Let's say you want the business of your dreams, the job of your dreams. You have to overcome fear, because what happens is, you know that there are certain things that you need to do. You know you need to dress better. You know you need to work on your communication skills. You know you need to have friends who are social and like being around women. You know that you need to maybe, do all the little things like going to the gym, right? Just all the other things that are going to lead to you having the type of life that you want. But you don't do them because something deep inside of you is telling you not to do it out of fear. Okay, fear is what causes procrastination. Procrastination causes you to not live the life that you want. So in the book, Outwitting the Devil, and also in Think and Grow Rich, his other book, these are the 6 basic fears that every person has. All right, so the number one fear in your life is the fear of poverty. You might not even realize it. This one is the hidden driver of a lot of the procrastination that you have in your life, is the fear of poverty. So let me give you an example, okay? So everyone knows deep down that they need to have a great online dating profile. I've been saying it for months. I've been saying it for probably years at this point. You know that you need to do it. Now, why don't you do it? The biggest complaint that I have had from coaching men for years is, oh, I'm going to have to buy a lot of clothes, or oh, I'm going to have to get a photographer, or oh, I'm going to have to buy this, I'm going to have to buy that. Now, over time, since I've seen that complaint come up so much, I've literally gotten it down to where I have shown guys the exact way to get a great dating profile by spending no money. Because I realized that that fear of them going broke, that fear of them spending too much on a dating profile or on pictures, it causes them to procrastinate. It causes them to over worry, right? And what happens is that procrastination leads to the dating profile not being good at all because they don't have the right outfit. They don't do it in the right location. They don't do it in the right kind of camera, and it just leads to a worse outcome, right? It leads to you not getting the relationship that you want because you're not even going to match with the type of woman you want. All right. What's the second fear? Is fear of criticism. So this one is one that everyone knows, right? You know that you are afraid of judgment, right? I would say everyone exhibits this to varying degrees, right? So me, when I used to be afraid of criticism, right? What was that, right? Like me inside, what was that? It was really just my ego wanting to portray myself to be something that I wanted other people to perceive me as, right? So I want people to perceive me as this cool, laid back, chill guy that doesn't try to walk up to women and just approach them and try to have sex with them, right? So I'm self-conscious, or I'm not saying I am, I'm just saying most guys now are self-conscious of other people's judgment. So they want to seem cool, so they don't do the things that they want to do, right? How did I break out of the fear of criticism? This one is like, I know you guys are going to look for some hack or some trick, but it literally is just having a reason to do it that's greater than that self-consciousness, right? Or greater than that judgment. So let me give you an example, right? You're at a social setting. You're around a group of people that you care about their opinion. You really, really care about it, right? The only thing that is going to get you to actually make the approach in the right way to the woman that you want, the woman that you really want to be with, is when you care about having her more than you care about the judgment of others. Most people will never get to that point. Most people care so much about the judgment of others that it leads to them literally lacking ambition, right? Because even though they want something, right, they want that woman, they will not do it because they care about what other people think of them. They want to seem cool to other people. Okay, another great way to get over the fear of criticism is having a defined reason to. So the first time when I really, really got over this fear of judgment was I set a directive for myself that I said, I must do this every day. I have to get 6 women's numbers every single day. I worked a job where even people seeing me approach women was so bad. But because I told myself I had to do it, it completely got rid of that fear of criticism because I had a reason that was greater than that, judgment that they had. The reason was my own self-respect. I cared about the thing that I told myself so much that I didn't care about the criticism that I was going to get for following what I wanted. So for you, if you're in a social situation, and you see a woman you like, or you see plenty of women that you like, right? Or if you want to post that picture on Instagram, but you stop doing it because of the fear that you have of people criticizing you. Think about it like this. The only thing that's going to actually make you do it is if you have a reason to do it that is greater than your fear of judgment. All right. So like I said before, you can either keep yourself accountable and care about your self-respect more than the judgment of others, or you can have somebody else who keeps you accountable to it. All right. That's why coaching programs are so important, because when you have somebody who's actually looking at what you do on a daily basis, right? So me, I used to go out with people who were in my program, right? I would go to bars, I would go to clubs with them, I would go to social events with them as well. And even though they would be afraid of going up to a woman they like, I would make them do it. That accountability that I gave them made them overcome their fear because they were self-conscious so much, but they cared way more about not looking like a pansy to me than they cared about their own fear of judgment. So they would go make the approach countless times because that is what makes you overcome your fear. It's somebody keeping you accountable. If you can't keep yourself accountable, then you should have a friend or somebody, just somebody that you care about their opinion, who's actually going to keep you accountable to your goals. All right. The fear of ill health, fear of loss of love, I would say those are just normal. Like everyone fears breaking a bone. Everyone fears, their girlfriend leaving them or something like that. But this one, I would say the way that the fear of loss of love manifests is, for a lot of guys, you could meet a woman and she really, really likes you. She's really giving you attention and stuff like that. But some part of you is insecure. And so you try to do things to control her because you fear that she's going to leave you. All right. So you will get jealous at everything that goes on with her. You will be thinking in the back of your head, like, what if she's cheating on me? What if she's doing this? You will literally do things to self-sabotage the relationship, all through insecurity, even if she's not doing anything. So how do you get over the fear of loss of love? It is by raising your own value. All right. Women will be controlled by you if you literally are so valuable that they want to do everything that you say. If you are so good in bed with them, if you are such a great boyfriend to them, if you are the most valuable man that they've ever been with in their life, they will do anything to stay with you. They won't even think of cheating because they would hate to lose you. So instead of trying to control her through words or through just, doing these little tactics and games and shit like that, control her by being the most valuable man that you can be. You conquer the fear that you have of losing her by being better. That is what is going to keep her around, because women, just like men, are attracted to the opposite sex. So if they are attracted to you constantly throughout the relationship, they will never do anything to kill the relationship. All right. What is the fear of getting old? This one is very common. I'm not going to really go over that one. Everybody's afraid of getting old. And the fear of death, really, really common. But the way it manifests is that, you just don't do anything, really. You lack ambition because you're just so afraid of death that you're just like, whatever. Like, I'm going to die anyway. All right. So let's keep going. This shit is still tripping. All right. Now that I've gone over the basic fears, it's really, really important that you self-analyze when fear shows up in your life. All right. This is so crucial. Like, you could be the type of guy that inside, that you should talk to more women. You know that you should spend more time building the perfect dating profile. You know that on the weekends, you're not doing anything that's leading to personal growth or self-improvement. Right? And it's all through procrastination because you don't have the belief in yourself that you can do it in the best way possible. That is a fear that you have that's making you procrastinate or making you stay below the required level. So you have to analyze yourself. And it's hard. It really is hard. But you have to analyze yourself and look at, like, okay, why didn't I talk to that woman when she was walking past me? Why didn't I talk to that woman when I was at the party? Why is this woman who I see on Instagram every day, why have I not tried to reach out to her or slid into her DM? Why are all these women who like my story, why do I not reach out to them? Why am I fearing that my woman is going to leave me instead of becoming a more valuable man? When you analyze yourself, you realize that all of your fears can be conquered through conscious action, right? So what does this look like? First, let's talk about the fear of approaching women, right? You can conquer that fear by literally doing it, even though you're afraid, right? So next time you're in the gym, even though you're afraid of criticism, you're afraid of all these people that you know in the gym looking at you like a weirdo, you do it anyway. You set the directive for yourself, like, I have to do it. And then you do it. What else can you do? You can have somebody who keeps you accountable. You can join a program like mine or the people who are in my program already. You can literally tell me to keep you accountable. I do it for my guys all the time, right? What else can you do, right? Your fear of death, right? You can look deep inside of you and say, like, okay, I'm only going to be here for a certain amount of time, but I can live the best life I can while I'm here. So let me put my actual effort into living a better life instead of just waiting to die. All right. All right. This shit is annoying. All right. I put it here that embracing challenge is really a great way to break fear, and it's really the only way, right? The reason why fear exists in our life is it wants to make you prove that you are worthy of the things that you say that you want. All right. Everything great comes with challenge. The great relationship, the great body, the great financial situation, it's all from you breaking through fear and going through challenges, right? Anybody who's watching this who has a job, anybody who's watching this who owns a business, right? It's not like you applied to one job and then you got it. Anybody who's gone to college before, it's not like you applied to one college and got it, right? There, you have to go through rejections. You know that that's the way that life works, and dating is the exact same way. So you can't be afraid of rejection, right? Because you have to understand that this is the way life is. Women are not all going to like you, and that is okay. That doesn't mean that you're not good enough. That doesn't mean that you are somebody who's weird. It just means that you have to keep going. Just like it would, like, if a job rejects you, it doesn't mean that you're a bad employee. It just means that they don't need you right now. All right. So once you understand the positive outcomes, right? Like, think about it. I am in a great relationship now. If I had never confronted fears, like fearing being in love, really, right? Which is a common fear. Like, I actually wouldn't want to actually even fall for someone. The fear of not being good enough for a partner, the fear of walking up to a woman and talking to her, the fear of rejection. If I never confronted those, I would not have the positive in my life, which is a great relationship, right? For you guys, if you never confront these fears, if you go another year, 2 years, 3 years having these in your life, you will settle. You will not get the life that you want. It will be impossible. All right. So you can look at yourself in the mirror one day and say, do I want to keep letting my fear of being looked at as a weirdo run my life? And the way that I always tell myself, like, whenever in the past, like, I've had a time where I'm like, damn, I don't feel like approaching women today, right? Like, I'm fearing criticism a little bit today, right? Like, I know all these people here, like, it will kind of be weird if I approach that woman. Like, everybody's going to think I'm like this guy that's trying to get at girls and stuff like that. I always tell myself, like, instead of switching, instead of having my goal be like, oh, I want people to look at me as this cool guy, I'll be like, bro, I want to embarrass myself. Like, my goal right now is to embarrass myself. So I make the approach, right? Because it's that mindset that makes you actually do it. Like, instead of thinking to yourself, like, I want to look super cool here and I want to be the guy that, like, everybody sees as, like, I'm not chasing women, I'm just attracting them. Look at it like, I want to be that guy that's seen as the guy that's chasing women. Like, that's what I want. Because it'll make you actually go after the positive outcome that's going to actually change your life. All right. Yeah. So I'm just going to end it off here. Understanding the positive outcomes that outweigh the emotion of fear is really the key to actually going through the challenge that's going to come, right? Is it easy to approach a lot of women? No. Is it easy to build an online dating profile and actually have to talk to 100 women who are all annoying until you find that 5 or 6 who are great women? No, it's not easy. But the positive far outweighs the negative, all right? Because having those 5 or 6 women who are all your ideal type, after talking to 100, they're all your ideal type and all of them want to be in a relationship with you, and now you can choose who you want to be with, but nothing outweighs that level of abundance. Like, nothing outweighs looking at a bunch of women who are on your line and all want to be with you. And you look at them, they're all beautiful and they're all your ideal personality type, right? So you have to look at it like the positive that comes with overcoming fear far outweighs the fear or the emotion that you feel inside, all right? So for some of you guys out there, I don't want you to watch this video and just think to yourself, like, that was a true thing that he said, and I'm gonna keep going back to what I did before. Like, this should change your life in a way that it changed mine, because you have to understand that criticism doesn't matter. Like, you're gonna be dead one day. All these people that you are thinking in your head care about your life, they really don't, right? And even if they did, why would you let that stop you? You're a man, right? You don't let people caring about your life stop you from getting the things that you want, right? If you fear poverty, it takes no money to get women. It takes nothing. Zero. I'm serious here. Like, it doesn't take money. So do not let that stop you. All right? All the things that you're putting on yourself that are stopping you from living the life that you want are all made up in your head. You're going to live. You're going to be all right. All right? Thank you guys for watching this video.